Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank Weekend Preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. The New Orleans Pelicans continuing their homestand. It's been like a roller coaster or a seesaw. You're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. But that pretty much typifies their season.
Fly high, fly low. And you're right, it has been. We've seen a lot of ups and downs with this team. And, we saw arguably their best performance of the year on Monday against the Cavs, beating the defending world champs without Anthony Davis. Coming off of a game the previous Friday, it was arguably their worst performance of the year against the Brooklyn Nets. And then Wednesday probably fell somewhere in between against Oklahoma City. Of course, it's always disappointing to lose, but that is obviously a pretty good Oklahoma City team that came in here. And now you've still got two more tough tests left to close out this homestand with San Antonio on Friday night, Washington on Sunday evening. So, two more chances to to finish off this homestand strong against two teams that are certainly, better than New Orleans on paper, but again, you've got them in your building.
And then, of course, the health of Anthony Davis. Who knows? He had a really good first half of the season. He stayed on the floor pretty much every game, but that's been kind of the opposite since the second half of the season began.
Yeah, this is a remarkable stat. The last 8 games, he's either not played or left the game with an injury 7 times. That's insane. So let's see. Hopefully he's able to be out there this weekend. At this point, look, you got to think about the long haul as well. You've got, 30-something games left in the season here, and you got to think big picture. Are you better off, erring on the side of caution a little bit and giving him a little bit of time and get him closer to 100% and hopefully avoid these situations where he's leaving games?
Interesting comments from Mickey Loomis at the Senior Bowl about the Pelicans and the Saints. With regard to the Pelicans, he pretty much dispelled the notion that he's running everything or overseeing everything. To the contrary, he said he entrusts L. Demps to do that. So that really dispelled what some people have talked about previously, but what I've kind of said all along. And with that in mind, it's almost kind of like the buck stops here. It's an indictment of where you're at if you can't get it any better. I think that's a pretty decent way to read it.
It is. And look, it's going to be interesting in my mind to see what the Pelicans do in the next 3 weeks, to see what they think about things. You've got the trade deadline February 23rd. Are they going to be sellers? They've got some sellable assets out there that could make this team better for the future, but basically say after the All-Star break, you know what? We've got a chance to maybe sneak in at that 8 spot, but we're not concerned with that. We're thinking about the long term.
Indeed, and where the Saints are concerned, Loomis basically telling everybody that it was an organizational decision to make the coaching changes on the staff, which some of us were aware of, but the fact of the matter is maybe that wasn't as publicized or as well known to the public. And what that means, Lenny, is that it wasn't a one-man decision. It was across the board, or at least it came from somewhere else.
Yeah, and just a matter of coming to an agreement, I guess. It's in my mind, it's semantics. The fact is you've got to replace some coaches now. Heard a lot of names out there this week, as you would expect at the Senior Bowl, which is, like I mentioned in my story, it's a de facto coaches convention. You're evaluating a lot of senior talent out there, but everyone is there, and you get a chance to not only evaluate that talent, but make some decisions on coaches down the line. And, could it be one of those guys? What was interesting in my mind is that Mike Nolan, after he talked to him, was watching practice with the Saints coaches after that. So while nothing has been announced as we sit here on a Friday morning, something could be imminent. Who knows?
Yeah, good coach, great pedigree, obviously. And we'll see what transpires. As for training camp, stay tuned. Who knows? Kentucky, New Orleans, Metairie, I don't know. But we'll find out in the near future about that. With regard to the Senior Bowl itself, of course, a lot of Louisiana products there. Tantel Smart from Tulane, a lot of LSU players. Trent Taylor from Louisiana Tech, Grambling wide receiver there, among others. And they'll play in the game, but pretty much the evaluation period is over with. I mean, the coaches and the scouts and the GMs, really what they wanted to see was practice and one-on-ones.
Yeah, we got All-Star Weekend getting ready to come here in 3 weeks. It kind of reminds me of that. Everything that happens up to the All-Star game on Sunday night is what excites people. Then you get the All-Star game. This is the same kind of thing. The evaluation happens Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and when you get to Saturday and the game in Mobile, the people will come out for that, and it's great for the Mobile community. That's not so much what it's about.
And then, of course, the Pro Bowl, who cares? I mean, I don't even pay attention to it. Drew Brees is in it. That's great. And I thought Mark Ingram had a great tweet, which I retweeted, about when Des Bryant got added with his 50 catches for 900-something yards, and you have Michael Thomas with 92 catches for over 1,000 yards and one more touchdown than Des Bryant. Clearly, this was not merit. Clearly, this was all about familiarity and the veteran nature of that player.
Popularity contest is what it comes down to. And, you know what I enjoyed? I enjoyed the dodgeball at the skills competition.
Better in the game.
That was fun. Let him just play. Let him play 40-on-40 dodgeball. That would be entertaining. You know what? Our friends over at the new trampoline facility just opened, Sky Zone. They've got dodgeball, and you do it on trampolines. That would even make it better. Let him go out there and do flips and everything else. That would be really cool. I'm
liking the idea. High school sports, basketball. You can listen to a big showdown for the lead in the Catholic League. His brother Martin hosts John Curtis Friday night, 7 p.m. from Bob Conlin Gymnasium. Listen to it on WGSO 990 AM and at WGSO.com. Huge game, and they've split their previous two matchups, and both were really close and good games. This one figures to be just as good. Congratulations to Sheena Smith of John Ehret for winning District 1 Athletic Director of the Year, which encompasses a 4-parish area. Always very helpful, and we appreciate her. And high school sports, look, it's hitting, okay? The playoffs soon in basketball. Wrestling state championships in 2 weeks, soccer state championships in 3 weeks. It's really hitting the fan here.
Yeah, we're starting to get to the winter time, and we'll have a bunch of championship events: wrestling, soccer, then boys and girls basketball, also known as the Boston Marathon, I think, or something like that. That's what it's going to be this year. They may just play around the clock in Hammond and Lake Charles to get all of these games in. But while we're talking about high school fronts, congratulations to you receiving the LHSAA Super Sport Award yesterday in Baton Rouge. Well deserved for everything that you do for high school sports, and a number of other people honored as well. Should also acknowledge our good friend Robin Fambro becomes the first 2-time winner of the Prep Journalism Award, and for everything she does for the Advocate and for high school sports in Louisiana. Well deserved.
Yeah, incredibly well deserved, and a terrific professional. So that's our First NBC Bank weekend preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank. First NBC Bank is a proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com for many years now, and we deeply appreciate them. Lenny, appreciate you too. Have a great weekend.
You too.
And you too. And until next week, thanks for joining us. God bless you.